So that's really all there is.
Yeah, that was how my mom ended up with a spider monkey. It was pretty crazy, but it was
Yeah.
nice to have that kind of pet when I was growing up.
It's an old story, I'll
I
be
know.
honest.
Yeah.
But that doesn't diminish it in any way in its formative influence on you.
I agree.
Yeah.
Spider monkeys taught me a lot when I was growing up.
Yeah. And it shows in a very positive way.
Thank you. I try to
Yeah.
stay optimistic and, squirrely.
Yeah. And it works. And you can tell it's genuine. Like, you're not just pretending spider monkeys influenced you.
No, I'm not.
Anybody who's lived or worked with spider monkeys knows this.
Yes.
Well, we should probably do a Daily Tech News show, don't you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I have the soundboard here. Somehow there's a spreadsheet full of tech news stories. Why not? All right, here we go.
Daily Tech News Show is brought to you by me. Oh, thanks, me. If you also wish to bring it, go to patreon.com/acedetect. That's patreon.com/ACEDTECT.
This is the Daily Tech News for Tuesday, May 27th, 2014. I'm Tom Merritt. Joining me today, very happy to have Shannon Morse, podcaster and producer at hack5.org with us. How's it going, Shannon?
Going good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining me. It's great to have you back.
It's good to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
I am enjoying the Hack 5 bookend of having Darren on Friday, and then we just had a quick headline show yesterday, so you
Yes.
today.
It's nice to be on a day that Darren's not normally here, so I'm not just filling in for him. I'm actually a different guest. Yay!
Yes, no, this is you. This is all you, Shannon.
Woohoo.
All right, let's get into the headlines. I want to talk about that G3. LG announced its new G3 smartphone, so no more leaks, just facts about the G3 from here on out. The Android 4.4.2 KitKat phone has a 5.5-inch, a little bigger than the Galaxy S5, 5.5-inch 2560 by 1440 display with 538 pixels per inch. They say it's the world's densest pixel display, which I think is probably true. 13.1 megapixel rear camera features laser autofocus. It sends out a little laser so you can get super quick focus and optical image stabilization. LG really pitched simplification, almost annoyingly so, in their presentation today. Features like squeeze to take a selfie, an adaptive keyboard that improves accuracy over time, learns how you type, knock to unlock, which uses a pattern of taps as your unlock code instead of numbers. Inside the phone, if you're like, get to the specs, man, Snapdragon 801, 2.5 gigahertz quad core, either 2 or 3 gigabytes of RAM, depending on which model you get, and either 16 or 32 gigabytes of storage. LG will start selling the G3 in South Korea Wednesday, with additional regions to follow. Prices are going to vary by market, and they didn't announce any of the prices today. What do you think of this phone, Shannon?
It's very compelling, and I'm really, really interested in that camera because last night I was trying to take a picture of my cat, and she was so cute and purring, and it was super blurry from my Nexus 5. I need something that actually gives me clear photos, so this might be it.
The laser autofocus apparently can work in like fog and situations that are too dark for you to see the focus, but it can just sense it because it's autofocus. You put this down next to the S5 and the M8, the HTC One M8. We've got some very compelling phones. They sort of are a little bit look-alike from a distance anyway, but they've each got their bit. Now, I think the problem for LG might be that they're focusing on the camera, and that tends to have been Nokia's thing, but that's Windows Phone, so Android fans need their own camera dealy too.
I just went full Android this past year, so I'm really looking forward to checking out things outside of just the Nexus line.
Also, price. Like, the price makes all the difference, too. If this thing comes out, and it's $399 unlocked, it suddenly becomes much less compelling. Not that that's what it's going to be. But The Verge notes that the information reports that its sources say Google's Nest division has considered acquiring Dropcam as part of a larger decision to move into home automation. Nest makes a thermostat and a smoke alarm called Protect. Dropcam makes a connected camera with a cloud DVR service and smart sensors that can detect things like open doors. This follows on their report yesterday from the Financial Times that Apple may announce its own smart home platform at WWDC next week. Shannon and I are going to talk a little bit about this in our main discussion section, but it's intriguing, isn't it?
Oh, it's very intriguing. I have so many concerns and questions about security on this line.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into that. Bloomberg Business Week says Intel signed an agreement with China's Fuzhou Rockchip Electronics Company to jointly offer a quad-core processor and integrated modem called Sophia in the first half of 2015. Rockchip will market the processor to Chinese customers. Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company, TSMC, will make the chip instead of Intel, at least until the end of 2015. Then it'll shift into Intel plants. This is important for Intel because they want a seller of chips that used to make ARM, or is usually making ARM, which is the case with Rockchip, making Intel mobile chips. So this is an important step in that plan. The Sydney Morning Herald reports reports that an attacker in Australia has used the Find My iPhone feature to lock users out of their own iPhones, iPads, and Macs. Those with lock codes could regain access, but others received requests for payment from either $50 to $100, depending on, I guess, the mood of the attacker, in order to regain access to their devices. Apple's working with them to try to regain access anyway, but if they got the lockout system is meant to stay locked out, so it's hard to get back in, which is good until you get hacked. CNET reports the China Academy of Cyberspace issued a new report called America's Global Surveillance Record, accusing the U.S. of targeting Chinese leaders, Chinese companies, scientific research institutes, and ordinary citizens with cyber surveillance. I think that's also called the Snowden Report, but we won't quibble. In addition, Bloomberg reports government agencies in China are asking banks to replace IBM servers with machines from local companies as part of a test program. So the war of words between the U.S. and China over cybersecurity is heating up. Reuters reports a court in the southern Iranian province of Fars has opened a case against Facebook-owned WhatsApp and Instagram after receiving complaints of privacy violations. The court ordered the director of Facebook or his official attorney to defend himself in court and pay for possible losses. And Gadget reports Hector Xavier Monsegur, a.k.a. Sabu of Lulzsec, has been sentenced to time served by the U.S. federal court. That pretty much lets him walk free. They're saying your sentence has been carried out because you already served time. Prosecutors said Monsegur was a very productive cooperator, providing information that helped the FBI take down Lulzsec and stop a string of cyber attacks, which means he's Shannon probably going to have some enemies out there now.
Yeah, he will. I'm a little worried for him, and I hope they keep him safe, but you know, that's what happens when you change from a black hat over to a white hat and start befriending the government.
Yeah, and a lot of people look at this and they compare it to other hackers who are serving longer sentences because they didn't cooperate, and saying, well, you know, why did he cooperate and not this other guy? But he would have. I mean, it's easy for me to say anything, right? This guy was facing 20 to 26 years in prison. That's a big chunk of someone's life.
Even one of his coworkers is spending that much time in prison. So if I was in his shoes, I would probably have done the same thing because, you know, it's my life. I don't want to spend it in prison.
Hard to say, yeah. Ars Technica reports the U.S. FCC Chief of Staff Ruth Milkman spoke today at a Progressive Policy Institute event titled, "Should the FCC Serve as Internet Traffic Cop?" Milkman said the agency does not know the answer to that question. They were specifically talking about peering, transit, other interconnection issues, and whether those need further regulation or can be handled in the marketplace. The FCC, obviously looking at net neutrality right now, they're seeking comment on whether the scope of its current net neutrality rulemaking, which is specific to ISPs, should include these other providers, these backbone providers, transit providers, and CDNs. Recode reports Nintendo is preparing an affiliate program that will let video creators on YouTube make money from videos that use clips of Nintendo games. There was a big controversy over this, if you remember. Currently, Nintendo may grant permission for the use of video clips that show their games under appropriate circumstances, as they say, but they still take the ad revenue for themselves. So this would be softening up on that policy.
Under appropriate circumstances.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what the inappropriate circumstances are, I guess, unless, I mean, a playthrough of a video game would be fine. A review should be fair use.
Exactly.
You know, because the playthroughs help promote.
Maybe if somebody was showing glitches in games, which has been known to be shared on the internet.
Wouldn't that be news? Like, I don't know. Awesome. There basically the laws on Nintendo's side here, so they get to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Time for some news from you. These come from our subreddit, dailytechnewsshow.reddit.com. Thank you to Kyle, who cleans up the spam, to Tom Gerke, to Scotty Rowland, to everybody. Seb Gons is in there moderating as well. Everybody who helps make that possible, especially you folks who get in there and submit stories, and even the folks who just vote. You too make a difference. In fact, we need you. We need more people to vote. So get in there, dailytechnewsshow.reddit.com. Our top story on the subreddit today came from metalfreak, who posted the IT World story that a bug in an e-voting application halted the release of European federal and regional election results in Belgium. Some older voting machines got different results when counting preferential votes depending on the way they counted them. That should not happen. It should be like a baseball box score. It should add up no matter what direction you count it. A fix to the problem was developed halfway through the night and voting resumed. But the machines in question are a little simple. PCs with 2 serial ports, a parallel port, a meg of RAM, you heard me right, 1 meg, a 3.5-inch floppy drive, which is used to load the voting software from a bootable DOS disk.
Oh my God.
I almost feel like that should be more secure though, right? But it's probably a glitch in the program, not...
Oh, I'm face-palming right now.
I know. And spsheridan submitted the Ars Technica story by Cyrus Farivar about his experience requesting his travel records from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency under a Freedom of Information Act request. He received 72 pages of information, much of it redacted to protect the subject's privacy. Even though he was the subject, they're like, doesn't matter if you're also the person you're requesting information about. It's just the way we do it. Most of the records showed when he had left or re-entered the country, as well as whether he was subject to some kind of inspection. One entry did note him directly as a journalist, which some people question whether that's okay or not. Farivar had been interested in receiving what's called a passenger name record, which oftentimes records IP addresses used to book travel. He asked for that directly. He did not receive that record, though. And that's a look at the headlines. Hey, Shannon, do you like tech history?
I love tech history.
I have something for you.
Ooh, what is it?
It'll cost you 99 cents, though.
That's it? Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not even 100 cents. It's only 99. Scott Johnson and I have been putting out monthly looks at what happened in history in every month. We just put out our June edition. We call them, they're kind of like Kindle singles. 99 cents. You get everything that happened on every day. Well, not everything, but some of the most important things that happened on every day. And then Scott did illustrations that go along with the text there. And we've got them for November through June. So we're only 4 months away from completing the whole year. And you can catch up. They're all available on Amazon. Just check them out there or look at tommerrittbooks.com. They're worth it for the illustrations alone.
I just bought your June one.
Oh, thanks.
Yay.
Nice. I would have sent it to you for free, but... appreciate that. Let's take a look at the smart home. Now that we heard Google might buy Nest, that's the information saying we got sources say they're thinking about it. That's not even that they're necessarily in talks, but it sort of makes sense. I'm sorry, not that Google might buy Nest, but Google might buy Dropcam for Nest as a birthday gift or something. We also had that Financial Times report yesterday that Apple sounds like very credibly will announce some sort of smart home something at WWDC. It sounds like it would be an element of iOS 8 that would allow third-party devices to be certified, like accessories are certified right now, in order to work with this platform. Now, right now, accessories include privacy limitations and quality checks. Shannon, what do you think of this? I mean, we have a lot of open standards out there. We have the SmartThings platform out there that's kind of trying to do what it sounds like Apple's trying to do. You buy a hub and then third-party devices can integrate into it. Do you want Apple running your home?
No would be the short answer to that question.
Do you want Google running your home?
No would be the other short answer to that question. No, I feel I'm kind of torn in half about this. The whole home automation thing, especially when it comes to security and privacy. We have all these different home automation companies that are being introduced in the past couple of years. So this isn't like the birth of a new genre. It's been happening for a little while now. But we're starting to get into the preteen phase. It's like how I like to describe it, where they're starting to figure out the kinks. They're starting to figure out cool features that people will actually buy into. And Apple and Google are going to be the big sellers in this market if Apple does end up going into this as well, as we've been hearing about. I'm expecting them to have some pretty cool products, but I worry so much that about giving them more information about my household than they really, really need.
Well, and it's a matter of trust no matter who you use, right? Because all of these services are going to provide a cloud version. And you might say, I'm sure plenty of you are thinking, well, oh, fine, then I'm going to buy a service that doesn't have a cloud version. I'm just going to have a server myself. That's great. Most people aren't going to want to do that unless it's made very simple. Something along the lines of like the way you set up a Sonos. Maybe that's what Apple does. What if they do that and say, look, we're actually not going to integrate this into iCloud, or at least you can choose to run it quite practically without having an iCloud account. Apple TV is going to be your hub, and then you have to have an iOS device, which is a drawback maybe for some people, but your smartphone is going to connect directly to your Apple TV hub or something like it, and it never goes to the internet.
See, that would be cool, like not having a connected device, but I would still want to be able to access it in some way mobily, either whether that's through like
that's kind of the beauty of it,
when I'm
right?
close to my house, or yeah, somehow it's still going to have to be connected.
That's a different situation than the cloud thing. Then it's less about, do I trust Apple with my data? And it becomes more about, do I trust Apple to secure my devices that I'm using on their platform such that I'm the only one who can actually access them. And as we saw with Find My iPhone, no matter what they do, somebody can sometimes figure out a way around it, because with that, most likely, I mean, I don't know for sure, most likely these are people who are using the same password for multiple accounts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And somebody found tried a bunch of passwords that got them into their Find My iPhone that they got off of Pastebin somewhere.
That's a big problem with all of this. Like the whole home automation thing is, how do you make this easy enough that people will want to buy into it and it'll still keep them secure, but it's still advanced enough that, regular hackers or people that are figuring out your passwords or using social engineering to figure out all your information aren't going to be able to get into it.
And you have a second factor. I'm just thinking about this right now, right? Like your phone is the thing you have. Like put two-factor authentication right into it from the get-go.
Yeah, absolutely. I would set up two-factor authentication or some kind of sort of reliable second way of getting into my own profile, so it would be a little bit more secure. And this is all just Apple. Like, what about with Google buying Dropbox? Like, if Google's Nest section did purchase Dropbox, how would you feel about having Google overpowering being able to look into your household and see what's going on physically?
Right, because that's the way Dropcam works. If people didn't quite catch that, it's a cloud DVR service. Whether you pay for the DVR service or not, what you pay for is storage. You can pay for the cloud DVR service on Dropcam for 7 days for $99 a year, and 30 days for $299 a year. But even if you don't pay anything, you still get access through the cloud. So then that means that Dropcam is storing all this information, or potentially could. And so could Google if Google bought Dropcam.
And there have been several occasions in the past where webcams have been hackable, where somebody has been able to gain access to them. And like I believe one of my friends called a pizza joint. They were able to hack into their webcam, and they basically called the pizza joint and said, "Hey, wave to the camera. I'm watching you guys right now." Super, super creepy.
Well, I have a good feeling that we will hear about some kind of smart home platform from Apple. Whether this is going to be an iPad moment or not, I'm not certain. Apple's cloud-based movements in the past have not been quite so successful.
That's true. Well, they've been slightly confusing for consumers, in my opinion. I hope that you would be able to gain access from whether you have an iPad or an iPhone, or maybe you just run a Mac at home, or maybe you have a MacBook Air and you run around with that. I hope that it's not like iPhone compatible only, because I would like to see how this works with my iPad. Maybe I won't necessarily buy into it, but it'd still be interesting to see.
Yeah, it would be actually it'd be kind of a coup if Apple said, and we'll put an Android app out for it, because we know some of you are married to the other side, and we want everyone to be able to use it.
Oh, snap.
I doubt that's going to happen, but could be interesting. On the other side of it, we got Google I/O coming out at the end of June. Whether Google ends up buying Dropcam or not, let's forget about that rumor. We are going to see some kind of home automation thing. I mean, if you looked at that Android Wear video a few months back, It was all about watches, but the watches were doing a lot of home automation stuff. It ends with the girl opening the garage door with her watch. And don't forget, back in May 2011, Andy Rubin was the guy who presented Android at Home. And we haven't heard much about Android at Home since, but Andy Rubin is off doing his own project. Maybe it's a home automation project.
Maybe. I would love to see that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Meanwhile, more immediately, the Firefox OS Flame reference device that Mozilla announced at the end of February is now available for pre-order as of today. Go to everbuying.com, $170, including free shipping. It's an open source phone.
Have you played with Firefox OS yet?
Not on an actual device, just through the emulator.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$170. Well, that's kind of cool, actually. Other things on the calendar. Tomorrow, Wednesday, May 28th, Samsung hosts an event around health in San Francisco. The company insists it will not be releasing any new products. This is the one that got everybody really excited, and then Samsung went around going, we're not that department. This is the health department of Samsung. It should be interesting, though. I'll be curious what they say. And then don't forget, Monday, June 2nd, Apple's WWDC. They did announce that they will stream it for Windows users using QuickTime, but still for Windows users, as well as on Macs in Safari and on the Apple TV. Second and third generation, though. Apparently, if you have the first generation Apple TV, you're screwed.
But what about the Linux users? I can't push this app in Chrome.
They don't care, really. Do they? I don't know. No, they're screwed. They have to emulate something. Pick of the day comes from Jeremiah McCoy. He writes, I am a big consumer of ebooks, like a lot of people today, but I often get better deals on books in different stores. You can buy books from places other than Kindle Store, after all, people. He didn't say people. I added that for him. Not to mention free versions of ebooks put online by the author or the Gutenberg Project for public domain works in different formats. Also, as much as Amazon would like to say different, there are a bunch of different e-readers available out there today. There are a lot of things to work out if you decide to go outside just one store experience, but Jeremiah has found Calibre, C-A-L-I-B-R-E, to be super useful in solving those problems. It's an ebook management software. It can track your library of files, convert them to different formats, and manage which device you have them loaded on. It can even edit your ebooks if you want to trim out something. It has great software for ebooks in general. I can wholly agree with you, Jeremiah. I use Calibre for a bunch of things. For the Sword and Laser Anthology, we used it to create some different versions of the ebook once we had the first one created. So go to calibre-ebook.com. That's calibre-ebook.com. Check it out. I don't know if, Shannon, have you ever played with Calibre?
I never have. I've never really needed to because I've never written any ebooks myself, but that sounds really cool.
Well, it's for reading, too. It's for reading management, and it'll strip off the DRM in some cases.
Most of my books are Kindles, but I do have a few extra just outlayers from, doing research or whatnot. So, yeah, maybe Calibre would work out well for me.
Yeah, it's worth poking around with. dailytechnewsshow.com/picks for all our picks. And we've got one message of the day before we get out of here. Fabio Cuervo has an idea for the next generation of Google Glass. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
He says, I wanted to comment on the recent talk on Google Glass being available to the public. I hear a lot of people saying that it is basically a bad idea to make the purchase, especially if there's going to be a cheaper, better revision coming. What do you think of the possibility that everyone that has purchased Google Glass at $1,500 could get the new version for free? Think about it. The build cost is in the $150 range, so basically you've paid for multiple pairs of glass if you've bought the $1,500 one. Google gets all the important data, and you get rewarded with the new revision that you already paid for. Remember the Nexus Q? Everyone that ordered one got it for free.
I'm okay with this idea. I have glass right now, which my work purchased for me, and I would love to get the new consumer edition for free.
I could definitely see Google doing this, probably asking for you to give the old one back, though.
Yeah, they probably would want you to return it, so either they could reuse the hardware or give it to another Explorer, whatever they need to do with it.
Yeah, or just reuse, recycle, but also get the old version off the streets, so that only the best new thing is out there.
What? So I can't sell it on eBay?
Yeah, and that's going to be there's going to be people who are like, well, I would get the new one, but I kind of want to have the OG equipment, right?
It's pretty OG.
Yeah. But I would not be surprised if Google did something like this for the Explorer program. all of that said, Fabio, if you're purely looking at it from a like cost-effective approach, I don't know that I would drop $1,500 on it still, unless you just had to have it now, because it's probably going to be $300 when the first real like open edition that anybody can buy comes out.
Whenever I bring my glass around and people ask me like, "Oh, how much did you pay for it?" and I was like, "I didn't pay for it, but you can purchase it for $1,500." I would spend $300 on it. No way I would pay for it myself.
Yeah. No, I still think it's probably not worth it, even if you're going to get the new one down the road.
Right.
Unless you're just, there's nothing wrong with being an early adopter and like, I got $1,500 to throw around. I'm just gonna
just throwing money, yeah.
Or you can get your company to buy it for you. That's actually the perfect way to go about it, right there. All right. Well, thank you, Fabio, and don't forget, folks, you can send us emails, feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. Shannon Morse, always a pleasure to talk to you.
You too. Thank you so much for having me on, Tom.
You do all kinds of stuff. Tell folks about all the stuff you're doing. You're learning a program with Father Robert.
Yes. So I still do a show on Tech TV, or Twit TV. It's called Coding 101 Tech TV. I know, right? Oh, gee, what? Yeah, so I'm doing Coding 101 with him over at twit.tv/C101. I also do Hack 5 with Darren Kitchen. That's hak5.org. Of course, yeah, that's like the grandfather show that I've been on forever, since 2008, I think. And then I'm also doing Techzilla over at Discovery Digital Media. That one's super fun.
Yeah, I'm doing that with Patrick Norton. He's going to be on the show tomorrow.
I am, yeah. I'm excited to see him on the show tomorrow.
You're actually the link between our guests from Friday and tomorrow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I totally am.
This was totally laid out that way by Jenny, obviously. It's a masterpiece of booking.
I knew it. Man, she's a freaking ninja.
No kidding, man. It's crazy. So check it out. What's the best place to follow you if you want to be like, okay, I want to watch all those shows. I want to see more Shannon.
I put all the links out there at twitter.com/snubs. It's SNUBS. But I don't snub people, I promise.
No, that's just... Where does that nickname come from?
It's really old school, like high school. It used to be Snubsy Boo, and it shortened down over time. Yeah.
We'll get the full story next time. Thanks again, Shannon. It's awesome having you.
Thank you.
Don't forget, folks, you can have a voice in what stories we cover at our subreddit. Get in there and participate, dailytechnewsshow.reddit.com. You can email us, feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. Give us a call, leave us a voicemail. Our phone number is 512-59-DAILY. That's 512-593-2459. And listen to the show live at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific at alphageekradio.com. On your mobile device, it's mobile.alphageekradio.com. You can visit our website to get all these links, dailytechnewsshow.com. As I mentioned, Patrick Norton from Techzilla with us tomorrow. See you then.
G'day!
It's Bruce, a.k.a. Mr. Gadgets here in Kansas City. So excited. Sitting here at the hospital waiting to be a grandpa for the first time, listening to the show on Friday. I guess Darren didn't remember this. Well, he's too young to remember this. I'm surprised with your history, though, that you didn't remember this. I was struck by the number of Patreons that you have accumulated. Congratulations. You have a 4-bit microprocessor. I think this is just a portent for the scope and breadth of what this audience will soon accomplish. Best of luck, and always listening. Bye now.
Congratulations on being a grandpa.
This podcast is part of the Frog Pants Studios Network. For more information about this and other shows, visit frogpants.com. Audio programs so good, it's like you're there.
I always sing along with that whenever I hear it.
It's hard not to. Good show.
Yay!
Who's the cat?
That one's Luna.
Oh.
I named her after Sailor Moon. And I also have another one over there who's passed out. Her name is Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, fantastic.
I was so excited to finally get to name my own animals. Yes, finally! I can have my own Starbuck.
Mm-hmm.
I named a laptop Starbuck once. Not quite the same.
I don't think my cat can do as much much as your laptop probably could, but she's pretty cool.
Actually, Starbucks sitting right here.
Oh boy.
Tell me if your cat.
We've lost
Then that.
Oh.
Nice.
ThinkPad T42.
Wow, that thing is.
Ugh.
How much does that weigh?
Wow.
About 10 pounds. No, I don't know. It's about 5 or 6, I think.
The last computer I named, it was a Compaq from 1996, and it was called Ralphie, and I put little eyes and ears on it like a dog.
Aww.
I don't know why, but that was the last computer. It was actually really my first laptop, so I felt strongly about it.
Oh no.
I name all my computers.
Darren sent me the Epic Sax Guy music. So I decided I'm going to play this at our reception.
Epic Sax Guy?
Yep.
Nice.
For 10 hours, just playing.
Just on loop, on a loop.
Yep.
It's a good way to make sure people don't stay too long.
That's true. Get out of here! I'm paying hourly for the open bar. Just leave.
Right. Open bar. Just have to listen to Epic Sax Guy all night. You'll love it for the first hour. Yeah.
Oh, I just think I realized I have to go to Santa Monica. Like, it's like for a 7 o'clock dinner, and I just realized that made me a little sad.
Because you have to get on the freeway.
Drive to Santa Monica.
How far
See,
is that?
driving to Santa Monica is an easy thing for me. I forget that it's actually kind of a nightmare for most people.
For me, it's akin to, like, the Oregon Trail. Only maybe without the cannibalism.
You might die of dysentery on the way.
Yeah, it's very possible the distance between my house and Santa Monica is the continent when it comes to, like, the traffic involved.
Right. Like, virtually the same.
Yeah, so that was just a sad realization. So let's see. What else? That was a great show. I like that show a lot. Oh, I forgot
good
how
show.
the job I do at this time.
Thanks for having me on, Jenny.
Yeah.
And
Oh gosh, every time I go digging through like the guest sheet, I find like all these new people that we haven't had on the show yet. I'm like, wait, this person's great. Like, what are we
That's
doing?
awesome. Well, I have more free
So-
time now, so I'll be able to be on the
Good.
show whenever you need somebody.
Oh, good.
Good. I
Yeah.
actually I have this.
Good
I
for
need
us.
a separate sub column of like people who are around, because we always every once in a while we have a problem.
And people always have different availability days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This reminds me, we have to do an early show on Friday, June 13th.
Okay. I'm gonna put that in the calendar.
And Shannon won't be available to fill in for that
I will
day.
not be available. I will be getting my nails done.
Nice.
So are you flying in on...
Yeah, I fly in. I get in that afternoon.
Yay!
Going straight to the rehearsal.
Awesome! I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be super fun.
Woo!
I'll have my Google Glass ready for you.
Do I have to wear them?
Yep.
It's going to be my prompter.
Keith
Pretty
still thinks I'm making it up, but I was like, no, he's going to wear it for the ceremony.
Why not?
Exactly.
I'm going to put Google Docs up in there with the ceremony.
You're going to record it.
Yeah, I probably can't do both. Well, no, I should be able to do both.
I don't know.
Actually, I don't think the Google Docs will
Probably
work.
update the software.
Ooh.
They totally record it.
So,
yeah.
so far, some titles are Dropping in a Google Cam, Don't Knock it LG,
Oh, because of the tap to unlock. That's kind of, yeah.
Worse than Driving in New Jersey. No, wait, that's just a comment. I kind of like
Wow, that's just the
title.
review of the show. Ugh.
Yeah. And then the Home Automation Wars is one I actually kind of like.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Home Automation Wars. I'm
Yeah.
good with that.
Yeah. The Coming Home Automation Wars.
Ooh, even better. The Coming Home.
Yeah.
I'll try
Oh,
to
because you're
resist
coming
the-
home. Whoa. It's a double thingamabob.
I get it.
is.
Lols. Oh man, you guys are funny.
Also, I really did just
That's
realize the
awesome.
brilliance of the booking this week when I at the end of the show.
I wish I could say I knew. It was dumb luck.
You should totally just take credit for it anyway.
Sure, I did it. It was me. Now wait until you see who's booked next week, which is almost nobody.
It's genius.
That's so brilliant.
It's that simplicity LG was talking about.
Yeah, no guests.
No, I saw
I have
some.
emails out.
I'm not worried.
Things will happen. They always happen. And if not, it'll be the Scott Johnson week.
Very awesome.
Hey, thanks, Scott, for joining us. Tomorrow we're going to have Scott on.
Scott Johnson! And guess who's on tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tremendous. Okay, so you want to really quickly hear my theory about the movie draft?
Yes, although I'm still publishing, so
all right.
I will get distracted at a certain point. But I'm exporting right now, so it's a good time.
Okay, you export, and then you tell me when you're ready to hear my theory. It's really pretty simple.
I've got another minute and 20 seconds of exporting, if you can fit part of it in there.
Okay, so here's the really simple theory. Any movie that doesn't make $100 million automatically reduces the amount of movies that team has down a movie. So if a team has 6 movies, but one of them makes $10 million, they no longer have 6 movies. They have 5 movies. If they have their next movie makes $30 million, they no longer are a 6-movie team. They're a 4-movie team, just like us.
Okay.
How about them apples? So you know how everybody was saying...
Although that they could beat us by 40 million because they've got that banked.
Fair enough.
All else was
fair
equal.
enough. There are 2 teams that are that we have to watch out for with the $100 million strategy.
Right.
Right.
And that would be what? Morning Stream and God's Money Bags.
Morning Stream and Amtrekker.
Oh, Amtrekker.
God's Money Bags is toast.
Who has How to Train?
That's God's Money Bags, but it's not making enough money with all the other movies that they have that didn't make it. See, here's the other brilliant part, is that there are so many teams that anytime a 4-person team like Slash Film gets a film like Amazing Spider-Man, it cancels it out of the equation for all the other teams that could have used it to build a coalition of blockbusters and win.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why. It's a little too early to be like 100% awesome about it.
Yeah,
but
that's all I was
This is why we
saying.
actually have as good a chance to win as anyone else, like, for real now.
I agree. I actually feel like, oh my God, I actually believe I have a chance to win this now.
Yeah. Matt and I would go further than that, but I won't say it on air to jinx it. Like, we've done some pretty hefty, non-specific math, and if you really go through it and you look at it about what each could make and what the associated movies around that one tentpole that everybody has, telling you, all Tammy and Sex Tape have to do is make like $50 to $60 million each.
So everybody, check out Tammy and Sex Tape this summer at a theater near
Coming
you.
to theaters near you, not even soon enough.
See them as a
my
double
favorite.
feature if you want. I don't know if they're close enough.
See him again.
Tell your friends.
Where is the summer movie draft now? Is it on Night Attack?
It's draft.diamondclub.tv.
Okay. I've never been a part of the summer movie draft. This should happen someday.
Well, yeah, and we...
there should be a Hack 5 team.
Brian expanded it this year on
Jenny,
purpose so we could
brilliant.
put more people in. So, yeah, Hack 5 team would be great.
A Hack 5 team. Darren would know almost nothing about movies, but that's okay.
Well, and you could bring in...
What is this? What is this gesture?
Oh, your camera guy. I feel horrible. I'm like...
Paul?
Paul, yes. You can bring in
Camera
Paul.
guy?
Yeah. He gets referred to in pretty much every episode.
Camera guy! Woo! He has his own theme song.
I know. That's why I felt so stupid that I couldn't remember Paul's name. And I know Paul. I've met Paul. Paul's a great guy. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah, you guys chose a good day to have me on, because since I was taken off before you by, I'm not doing anything on Tuesdays right now, except for wedding planning. So it works out really, really well.
Well, let's have you back on a Tuesday.
It's like, yay!
Okay, that's good to know. So Tuesdays are good.
Yep, Tuesdays and Fridays are the best.
You might be on next Tuesday.
Oh,
Actually, the way things are going.
That would work.
Good to know.
You scratched me, you brat.
Aww.
That's okay.
She's like, Mommy, get off the internet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so that's my theory. That's why I think we're going to win, because there are at least 3 teams now that are down to 4 movies just like us in the general ruling out of things that don't make $100 million. And we only have 1 to 2 serious competitors.
All right.
That's my take.
Oh, Darren says they'd have Archiver on the team.
Uh-oh. Guys better watch out. Archiver's hardcore.
Does he know a lot about movies?
He's like, yeah, I don't know, but he will.
He can
He'll
bone up
learn
on
it
anything
on
he
up.
doesn't know.
Get the Matrix upload. All movies.
I know kung fu movies.
I know. Oh man, this should be a promo for the movie draft.
All right. Okay, now I can finally actually look at the movie draft page.
Okay. Everybody enjoy Tom's brain working. You can actually see it working right now.
I'm staring at you.
I don't know. I still think if How to Train did 300.
Because look at all the other movies. Look at
Doesn't
how
matter,
many
though.
of their...
If they get 300, they have 449.
Yeah.
And if Tammy and Sex Tape only did
If
like
X-Men,
70
I'll put it to you
between the
this
two.
way. X-Men has a chance to reach
Oh, right, because
250
it's got
million,
another weekend.
which
you're
puts us
right.
at 500 million.
Right.
If it does that over the rest of the summer. That's the winning ticket. Now you're absolutely, like, Team Amtrekker is our fiercest competition because each of their movies has a chance to make a million,
Yeah.
100 million averaged out.
Yep. Fault in Our Stars is probably the only
And-
one that is like would be the biggest stretch for that. Everything
Yes.
else is pretty much.
That's one of those things that if everybody's tired of seeing the Boom Boom movies, The Fault in Our Stars is going to do $100 million.
Yeah.
On the strength of the novel. And then TMS is our closest current competitor. But we should still be able to keep ahead of them, if not for the entire summer, for most of it.
Because
But
all they
a
have is
lot-
22 and Get On Up.
Yep. Which 22 Jump Street is the big decider.
Pretty much all they have is 22. Yeah.
Yeah. But, Get On Up will probably make... actually, I don't know. I can't call that one.
And they have Planes, but that's not going to make them much.
Right. So that's my theory. No, I think Metal Freak, I think How to Train Your Dragon is going to be huge, boffo, ginormous, tremendous, but look at all the other movies they have. It's not going to be enough. That movie could make $400 million.
So you know what's going to happen if we win, right? Everybody's going to start complaining about that glitch in the opening bidding.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, you got Captain America for 43.
Yeah.
I mean, I should have at least gone for 50.
That's why we're the technology team, because Tom knew how to use the technology.
It was a total accident. Total
I
accident.
know. That's how these things always happen. Wait, I don't know Epic Sax Guy. Can someone send me a link?
Oh my god. Quick.
Send link now.
Send
I need
her,
a link.
send her the link. I'll just sing it for you.
Accept it. Oh. Oh my goodness.
It just loops again. and
That
again.
is fantastic. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay. Don't. All right. Sorry. I'm staring at a husband. That's why I've suddenly started acting so bizarrely.
Hello, Jenny
There's a
husband.
husband across the room.
Husband.
Husband, what are you doing? This is going to turn into a terrible situation. I'm going on mute for a second.
Oh, Renee Ritchie got back. That's good.
Yay.
But not for next weekend, you'll notice.
Well, yeah.
Or next week.
Yeah, and that's understandable.
Yeah, it's just cool. I'm glad to have someone for that following week too. But I may start booking people like, that.
I'm getting my marriage license on the 9th. Woohoo!
Ooh, so exciting!
They make that crap so confusing.
license to marry.
License?
Wait, so are you a Techzilla Bridezilla? Or are you an anti-Bridezilla? I just wanted to say Techzilla Bridezilla. You don't strike me as Bridezilla.
I feel like I'm a slight Bridezilla, but most of it is because of people messaging me their random drama having to do with my wedding. And I'm just like, dude, just talk to somebody else about it. Don't stress me.
I'll tell you, when we got to about like 35 years old, like a couple years ago, we were just like, not so thrilled about weddings anymore.
Yeah.
Because like it just becomes, oh my God.
All of them are the same.
Well, that's the thing, and yet you are getting married, and you have every right to be super excited about your wedding. So it's a conundrum.
It is. It totally is.
I always, you know what it is? You always feel that way before the wedding, and then you get there, and every wedding has this amazing, special moment that's unlike any other wedding, and it's all you talk about, and it's a huge success. So this is my prediction for you.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I think
there's always something.
I think it's going to be awesome.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Woo!
The open bar is my favorite part.
Whoa, you've already won. You won. There it is.
I'm looking forward to that part the most. I
Yeah.
get to see my family and friends that I haven't seen in like 10 years. That's cool. Open bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also open bar.
And
also open bar. Well done.
Well
Are you
played.
excited about your dress?
Oh, yes. It fits. I already have it at
Good.
home. It's away
Good.
from the cats, so they can't rip into it.
Oh, gosh.
They
That's
tried.
terrifying.
And I was like, no, that
That's
bag is
terrifying.
not a toy. Don't touch that. So I had
Your
that.
lives are less valuable than
It
this.
shows a pretty cool officiant. My officiant's pretty
Yep.
cool. Yeah.
Who's your officiant?
He's this guy named Tom.
Oh, man. That guy is a huge demand as officiating herness.
Yeah, he's pretty popular. So
I thought you were going to
Okay.
say. I thought you were saying I was demanding. That is so
That would have
demanding.
been funnier. That would have been funnier. He has a rider for officiating. It involves like at least 3 jump drives, a faster than light capability,
I demand 1 jazz drive, 1 zip drive,
Right.
1 spark drive.
and pretzel M&Ms.
don't forget the floppy.
Yeah.
That reminds me. What's your favorite whiskey or I don't know drink? Alcohol.
Scotch whiskey.
Scotch. What kind of scotch?
I like all the Elay malts, like Talisker and Bowmore and Oban.
What?
You're gonna have to spell those. Hey
I
Tom,
don't
could
drink
you spell
Scotch.
those for me? Could you spell those for me?
Talisker.
Certainly not for.
Talisker, Jenny. Just for your
Uh-huh.
edification.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one the Merit Militia got me.
Oh, very nice. How about a Glenmorangie?
Hey,
That's a good one too.
They're
No?
good. They're fine. They're fine.
Not so
Not
much.
at the tops. Not at the tops. No, it's one of those things where like I'm not criticizing Glenmorangie, but
Right.
Glenmorangie is always the one you get on airplanes.
Right.
Like when they have like when they're not doing Dewar's or something blended, when they're like, oh, they actually have a single malt. That's cool. Or Glenfiddich sometimes too.
I feel like there's an idea brewing in the chat room, and it's called Tech Wedding.
What?
It's not quite there, but Eureka Geek said, I like the cast of this wedding. Is it in the movie draft? And all of a sudden I realized, like, what a fun movie it would be to call it A Very Techie Wedding.
Aww.
Right?
That would be super cute.
a
Drone
rom-com.
flying over, getting pictures.
Yours is pretty close. Yours might be the Very Techie Wedding. You've got drones. You've got basically the kind beneficent dictator of the internet as your officiant. the disseminator of
Be
all
wearing my
information.
glass.
Yep, several people will be wearing glass. I think you might qualify.
Welcome to the early adopter tech wedding. Woo!
Yeah.
Well, now that we've solved your wedding problems,
Yeah.
I should go get ready for Sword and Laser.
And
Is
I
there
should
Sword and
go
Laser
get ready
today?
for my Sailor Moon.
Yeah, Veronica's back. from
Oh,
China.
yeah.
So I'm going
Cool.
say goodbye to the video folks first, Shannon.
Goodbye, video folks.